Hello, everybody, and we're here with the third episode of Star versus the Forces of Evil, the Ig'rance review. This episode is called Matchmaker. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, not gonna
Uh,
lie, not a huge fan of this one, but we'll get
this
into it.
is yeah, doesn't doesn't really stand up too well against the past two.
Well, they can't all be winners, to be fair.
That's fair. Yeah.
And I'll caveat, I don't actually think this is a bad
Oh
episode.
no. But
I laughed a lot throughout it, but it overall, before we get into like the details, I guess my general feeling is this is probably the first one that feels the most like first season filler.
yeah, it's very meh.
Get used to that for the first season.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
I mean, it's the first season of a show. Like,
A show that has 4 seasons, I
I
think.
think it's on 5. I think 5.
It's
Or like
5 is in
5 is in development, something like that. But
Yeah, so in this episode,
Yeah.
the teacher that I think we met in the first episode, who we didn't mention, but
She's
her
fucked.
design is just ignorance to me. Like,
oh, she's fucked.
I couldn't look at her. I was like, oh God, please don't let her
This-
come back.
She's among one
Goes
of the
back.
most disgusting teachers. Why do they always do that with teachers?
season 4 is in production.
Okay.
Yeah.
They always do that.
She just got.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh fuck. They always do that with teachers because fucking this is a bunch of animation kids who were the quiet kids in high school, and they probably doodled in class, and then the teachers fucked on them for it. So
Don't fuck if there are any teachers out there, don't fuck your students.
I said fucked on, not fucked them.
Don't fuck on them. That
Or
gives me weirder
or,
implications.
or when you're a kid, your teacher is like,
Yeah.
the authority figure that you rebel
Right.
against. So that's probably why they always make them monsters.
Yeah,
'cause
I mean
how
that's
you-
why, but Jesus Christ, this lady is
No, she's a monster.
Yeah.
They nailed it with this
Yeah.
one.
And then
Yeah.
they actually
She-
make her a monster.
yeah.
Yeah. So they subverted our expectations.
And I think
No.
I think
No.
the very best part about this show or about that episode is that she never turns back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, no. This episode I feel like let you know what you were getting yourself into off the rip. Cause
That's true.
we're introduced to Marco's friends, Alfonso and Ferguson. And Ferguson's fat, right?
Oh, I forgot about that.
And there's like the poppy girl, the popular girl, Jackie Lynn, who like skateboards past them, and he does that fat kid thing where he like draws a face on his stomach and his huge belly button's the mouth, and tries to talk to her through it.
It wasn't Jackie that went through. It was just some random.
Yeah, it was
No,
just a girl.
was it? I thought it
wasn't-
was
No,
the
no, no, no.
popular girl.
She showed up later.
It might have been the cheerleader girl.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
that was the same person. I think it was just a random girl.
Okay.
So the cheerleader girl is the
I think.
popular girl, and then Jackie Lynn Thomas is the cool girl.
Yeah. Okay.
But
The girls.
But we also.
Tashel said that he forgot about the friends. Don't worry, so did they.
That's good.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
I
want-
didn't like them.
No, after
I
that
thought that
little
was
introduction
obnoxious.
we got, you can keep that.
I was like, Marco, like, why do you hang out with these people? Like, you
Just
seem like
be
you're so
alone.
much better than them.
yeah.
I think they showed
But
up
everyone
like once
hates
or
Marco.
twice later, and that's it.
Yeah, they can keep them.
Yeah, because I don't remember them, so I don't mind if they don't come back.
Oh,
Yeah. So anyway, then we go into class. We see that Marco has a crush on one of the girls, and I like that Marco does not like Star. I know that turns into something later, but I like that we don't start off with Marco
Yeah.
and Star having a ridiculous, unnecessary romance
right.
without it being earned.
It's,
Yeah.
Marco and Star's thing is earned, but they do the whole will they won't they bullshit through the whole show.
I know,
Yeah.
but we'll get there when we
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah,
'cause
slow down. Hold your
that's-
horses there,
That
bucko.
is something about this show that I actually don't like, but we'll get into that when we
Right.
get there.
We find out
yeah,
that
so we get to the teacher, and she just
Yeah.
got dumped.
yeah, we
which-
find out Star is dumb as fuck.
So she
We
she
just
got an
found-
F on her test.
We just found that out.
Well, like book smarts. We didn't know that.
Well, if you look at her fucking test, it's just a bunch of drawings. Like
Aw.
the corner of the sheet is visible, and if you look at it, it's just a bunch of drawings.
I love
Aw.
Star. She's so cute. So yeah, she tries to bribe the teacher into giving her an A, which is awesome. I love that she
Right?
just went straight into bribery. Like, not like, oh, what can I do to get better? She's like, oh no, if you do this for me, if I do this for you, then you give me an A. So that she turns
Learning
into
how
a
the world
monster.
works.
And she says she'll try to give her a makeover, something like that, and then she ends up making her into a monster. And unfortunately, I think the episode kind of goes downhill from there.
What happens
like-
after that? Nothing?
Yeah, I mean, the villains see that that she's distracted,
Quote unquote.
and
Whatever
yeah,
that
and
means.
they use the magic scissors to come back, and then they have another fight scene, which is basically
Speaking
just
of-
a repeat of the fight scene that we saw in the first episode. That was the
Yeah,
weakest.
and they mention like Ludo,
Ludo, yeah.
Ludo.
Bird
Lubo's someone else. But he's like, yeah, she's like, why'd you attack? We came because you were distracted. And Star's like, dog, I've been way more distracted. A lot more
He's just
times
like-
than this. Like she outright says,
And they're just like,
just-
oh, I guess you're right. And they just get beat up. Like, that is funny, but it's still like, well, then why did we have to sit through this?
Yeah.
What is this? This is what this is what we always talk about with the, you can't really do the subverting thing if you're actually just gonna do it, because
right.
they didn't just be like, see, to me, I think what could have been funny, like, this is just me throwing an idea out, what could have been funny if they were just like, oh, okay, and then they just left. Like, I would have liked
We'll
that.
try
Like,
again later. Yeah.
we didn't have to have another fight. Like, the fight scenes in this episode and the first episode, it almost just felt like the same thing again, and I was like,
So there was after they got beat up, there was a really dark joke that they kind of just blew past it, where after Star nukes everything, she's like, oh, did I kill that guy? And she's like super worried.
Oh yeah, I like this.
And then Ludo's like, nah, he's probably just bleeding internally like a wuss.
you know, actually, that's something that I didn't mention in the first episode, but I did pick up on. Kind of like if you pay attention to the stuff that happens to characters,
dude,
people
Star
are dying left and right. I'm like, oh my god, this is
people
dumb.
up. Like we referenced the Powerpuff Girls. The Powerpuff Girls did that. Like, did you see what they did to Mojo Jojo?
Yeah, they would. beat
Star
you into-
does that.
into
Like-
your life, and she's like, "Oh well, I won't just beat you up. I'll kill you. I'll blow you up. I'm gonna light you on fire."
In the last episode, I mentioned it would be great if she just pulls out a fucking gat, and I'm waiting for it. Just, shoots you in the back of the head. He's tired of it.
And the ending of this episode, I don't even remember how it ends because in my notes I just said it has womp womp ending, and that's how I felt.
Oh, we should
The
also
teacher-
mention, we should all mention that we're counting each episode as one half of
Yes,
the actual.
yeah,
Each
yeah,
11-minute segment is
Yeah.
its own thing. Yeah,
Until that's not the case.
yeah. Until they're like two-parters, then we'll just
Right,
do them all
yeah.
at once.
But yeah, one thing that happens, like in the fight scene, the teacher, what's her name? I say Grumble Snatch, but I know that's not it.
Just call her
But
troll.
I don't know. We're just
Just call her troll.
all right. Teacher Troll.
It's true.
One of Ludo's guys falls in love with her,
The demon.
and like
Yeah.
for a second, it's like, oh, all is well. She got what she wanted, and then he dumps her.
Womp womp.
I like that
Yeah,
you put,
and-
like, Beelzebub or some. Yeah, you put Beelzebub.
Oh yeah, he
looking
looks
as
like
demon.
Beelzebub. He looks like a demon.
Beelzebub is actually in the show, and you've seen him.
Oh, is that Tom?
Yeah, that's Tom.
Okay. Yeah, we're introduced to Tom in this episode when
briefly.
Star
Who's
tries
Tom
to call
again?
Star
Oh,
tries to
the-
call her mom.
Right.
calls
she
Tom. I don't like Tom.
Tom.
That might change.
Tom has an interesting character arc.
I believe
He's
it.
an interesting character, but
We'll get to Tom
he's
later.
a fuck boy.
Yeah.
He
Oh, yeah, I
seems
believe
like it. Something about him rubbed me like he and Star had the past like
Mm-hmm.
relationship.
You're right.
Yeah. Well, they did a good job of
Yeah.
having that come across because they had that weird ex-boyfriend tension, ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend tension.
Tom is the thing. While Tom is her thing, while Jackie is Mexican boy's thing.
Marco.
Yeah, that's his name.
Okay.
Well, let's not call him Mexican boy.
Yeah,
Let's not do that.
that's a no for that one, Josh. Little slap on the wrist.
But yeah, anyway, this episode's not.
Nothing
not
happens.
awful.
Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. It's you said it was filler at the beginning,
Yeah.
and that's how it feels. I mean, we don't learn
It's just
anything
like a
about
fun-
anyone.
Yeah, it's just like a fun time waster.
We are.
It's-
Yeah.
We are very briefly introduced to a character.
I mean, but I'm not gonna count that because they're gonna come back.
And there's a lot of watching this back. There's a lot of foreshadowing.
Oh, yeah.
Like I didn't see this the first time, but Glossaric, one of my favorite characters in the series, makes a very brief cameo.
I don't remember that.
He's in the book. He shows up for like 3 frames.
Okay.
So we were saying, how this is the Cal Art. It's got the Cal Art style. It is also very similar to those other shows in that, like, these early episodes, except for Gravity Falls, because it does its own thing. But the other shows, it's like when you rewatch the early seasons, the plots are not that great, but to see them build up to stuff, it's really impressive.
Right. Yeah, it's worth it. Oh, one thing we haven't talked about. How do we feel about the intro?
I think it's great. I mean, it doesn't change ever,
Right.
but I think
I think it's cute.
I think the intro theme is
it's
really
fun.
good.
Yeah, I like it. Honestly, and I've seen it a couple of times. That's probably not an intro that's gonna get stuck in my head, like with
No.
Steven
Like Steven or
Universe, for
Adventure
example.
Time.
Every time, I
Yeah.
don't even really think about the Adventure Time intro, but the Steven Universe intro, about the first couple times I saw it, I was like, I like this. And this song is gonna get stuck in my head. The Star song I like, but it's probably not gonna be something that I just think about.
Yeah.
I like this one better than Steven Universe's song.
It's fine to have wrong opinions.
Alright, we haven't even gotten past the first season of Steven.
I'm on this 3rd season actually,
Yeah,
so
he's got to where it's gotten great now.
Oh, I see.
But anyway, this
Yeah.
isn't about Steven versus
Still
Star,
something.
because
no.
these shows are still, they're both so great. I hate that it's even turned into a which show is better, because I think they do totally different things
yeah,
anyway.
Who would win
completely
in a
different
fight?
genres.
And I mean,
Oh, Star.
well, let's not get into it.
Did you just
because
ask who would win in a fight?
Yeah, like a fist fight.
Oh, no. I mean, Star probably still.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, I mean the show, not the characters.
With new information, the show,
Yeah.
Steven. But anyway, let's
All right.
see you all in the next episode.
Yeah. Bye.